All right, looks like we're live. So welcome, as usual, Tuesday afternoons after my coaching call with my mastermind group. I hop on to talk about some kind of question or topic that we covered. And today I'm actually going to share with you guys something really important that has to do with what we've been talking a lot about lately, which is using online workshops or webinars to sell your services, to gather leads that then can convert into, in this case, telehealth patients. And so I did a webinar 2 weeks ago, and so far it has scored us about $4,000 worth of clients based on the average customer lifetime value, or I'd say plan of care value from our clients. And so that's a big number, especially in these days. And it really was from a relatively small webinar. I didn't promote it hugely because I wanted to make sure I worked out all the technical kinks and everything was just right. We're going to run it again. But now that same webinar, I actually put the replay. I pasted in the description below. You can actually watch the recorded replay and see that webinar. It runs about an hour, but to get an idea of exactly how I run those. And what I wanted to talk about today is a little known thing that if you can incorporate this into the things that you do online, especially in these lifestyle workshops or webinars, it will just make so much more impact. You're going to be able to help so many more people. You're going to get so many more people to say yes to whatever you're offering. And that comes from the fact that most of the selling, even if you're even if your call to action or your offer or your push in a webinar is to sign up for a free consultation, most of what you're selling, the sale actually happens in the first quarter of the webinar or workshop. And that might sound a little counterintuitive. Usually most people think about those as like you're giving information at the end, you make some sort of offer, right? Well, yes, you do have a detailed offer at the end, but most of the actual selling, the things that you say that are going to make that person say yes when you do make the offer, happen in the beginning. And so it's really, really important not to feel like you need to immediately dive into the content, i.e. the kind of teaching or the valuable trainings, whatever you're providing to your niche market. It's important that you don't feel rushed to get into that you first start to talk about the things that are their true pain points, their true limitations, the things the statements that you're going to make, or the bullet points that you're going to also have on your slides or whatever you're using in your presentation, that are going to get them saying, yes, this person understands me. They're speaking my language. They understand what I'm going through. They're talking about my pain points. They're talking about my limitations, physical limitations that have an emotional, tie to them. And, if you get them saying those things and understanding that this workshop or this webinar is perfect for them because you're speaking their language and you're saying the things that they're concerned with, then you're going to not only get them to stay through till the offer, but have them pre-framed and open to the idea of saying yes to what you have to offer. And the other component that I'd add to that is just don't wait till the very end to make your offer. Now, if you have, a 3 or 4 figure offer, if you're actually, hopefully you're in that case speaking to a very warm audience, I wouldn't be trying to sell $1,000 packages of treatments to a completely cold audience of people that you don't necessarily haven't worked with before. But if you are making an offer to a warm audience that is high dollar, then yes, maybe in that case, you don't necessarily come out with the actual pitch and offer until towards the end. But when you're pushing for free consultations, which is, the most common thing that we're trying to do in these online workshops right now, especially for telehealth services, that's something that I mentioned, as you'll see in the replay that you can watch and click in the description below. I think I'd probably make the offer 4 or 5 times before we actually get to the detailed offer at the end. So those who are not kind of going to be able to stay till the end or don't want to stay, like they know pretty quickly that they can get on the phone with us for free or get on an online consultation with us completely for free. They know that very early on, right in the beginning, when I'm telling them, why this webinar is perfect for them and talking about my target market's pain points and getting them excited about what they're about to learn. Like they already know, hey, if you have a specific question about something you're dealing with, this is general information that's going to be probably helpful, but it's not going to be the complete solution. And we need to have an answer that's specific to you. And we can do that completely for free. Just call or text us here, or email this number or click this button or whatever the case may be for whatever your technology platform is allowing of. Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining. So yeah, it was an awesome webinar. It went really, really well, even with, I think we had like just 22 registrants. Again, I barely really put it out there because I wanted to make sure and get the most recent one kind of down pat and make sure the technology was working correctly. But from those 22 registrants, I think we had like 15 people show up live. Most of them stayed till the end, and 4 of them ended up becoming not just leads, but paying customers. And that's pretty solid. It's a pretty good conversion rate, and a great deal of that has to do with what is the content and the structure and the flow, the story and the journey that you take them on through the webinar. There is a real art to it. It's not just, okay, I'm just going to take my clinical mind and put a bunch of stuff into PowerPoint slides and expect that that's going to create patients. It's just not. That's not how it works. You've got to understand the psychology of sales and the journey that you need to take someone on from, showing up for one of these things, maybe not knowing you from Adam, and to the point where they're like, wow, I really know, like, and trust this person. And yes, I am ready to get on the phone with them or get onto, an online consult of some sort and move forward with this. And so the art of that and the exact structure of that pathway and the slides and all that, I've completely outlined, as I mentioned in my video last week. If you didn't see it, we're putting together the last 4 weeks of my masterclass trainings for my mastermind group on how to host a high converting online workshop webinar to create, in this case, telehealth patients. But I mean, as I've told them, this is applicable for life. This is for telehealth patients as well as in-clinic patients, any patients at all. I mean, you can do these things online, reach a broad audience, and create leads, whether they can come to your clinic or not. It doesn't matter. It's going to work no matter what. So we put all that together into a course. It's going to be available next week, one of the days next week. If you want to make sure that because we'll probably do like 24 or 48 hours of a pay what you can option. Just given the economic situation right now, some people are doing great and they're going to be able to pay full price, and some people really need this information and they're scrambling and struggling, and so we're going to have options for lower cost entry points as well. We want to get this out to everybody who needs it and as broadly as possible. So if you do want to make sure that when that goes live and that you can access that kind of launch special next week, go to drjarodcarter.com/newsletter. That's just my general email sign up. You get a lot of other articles and great information there, but if you're on my email newsletter, you'll definitely hear when we go live, because I'm not sure if it's going to what day next week it's going to be. We're kind of pushing hard to get it all together, but there's a lot that goes into something like this, and it's become a really awesome course, just A to Z, everything from creating the right topic and title to creating the workshop, all the tech component, the A to Z, everything to set it up. All the slide and creations, like I was just talking about, where you want to take this person and how you do that, how you actually put the presentation together, so important. And then how to fill the seats, right? How to convert, how to follow up, and then how to turn things into evergreen webinars so they continue to produce clients for you for life. So it's a very comprehensive course. It's going to be out next week. Again, drjarodcarter.com/newsletter if you want to be on my email newsletter to make sure you can catch the launch special 24, 48 hours or so next week that we're going to be running that. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you appreciated this information, kind of that one tip about it's a little, not many people know this, but the selling in these things, the convincing and the opening them up to saying yes to what you're offering, it happens in the beginning. You got to get them in the beginning, getting them saying yes and knowing that you understand their situation and that you treat people like them all the time and you are going to give them information that's going to be helpful. That's where the magic happens to make the kind of conversions that I had of, 20% of people that registered, not even showed up live, but just registrants, became paying customers, and that's huge. And I think it has everything to do with that, and you'll learn all those things in the course we've got coming out next week. So thank you as always, and we'll see you next Tuesday. I'll probably have the announcement of us of us making that course go live, or more details next Tuesday with another one of these Cash Practice Training Tuesday topics. Thanks for joining me.